Hey everyone, I am Diana, and this is my battle buddy Jess. Welcome back to episode 6 of
Unfiltered and Unarmored.
We're just two veteran women out here trying to figure out life after the military, healing, unlearning, rediscovering who we are, and somehow managing the chaos that follows us. Like it has full access to our calendar.
Seriously, because at this point, I need answers. Why does Chaos have our location on Always Share? Like, who gave it permission? Because I don't remember approving that request.
Girl, chaos always comes in waves. The second you start to relax, it's like losing your phone and hitting find my iPhone. It's like, oh, you're chilling? I'm on my way.
Oh my God, every time. Ugh, it's the worst.
Now, how was your weekend, Jess? Did you get into anything crazy?
I'm prepping my garden since I can move just a little bit better, and hopefully we'll be able to get it put in by this weekend. Oh, I colored. It was a naughty coloring book that says fuck.
Ooh. Oh, I thought you meant like other kind of naughty coloring book. My weekend was doing chores. I have a hate relationship with spring. I feel kind of bad for my husband. When we moved up north, I completely told him I am the wrong person to take care of the garden and to do all that stuff. Now that the spring is coming up and the grass is starts growing and stuff like that, and then he has to go outside and cut the grass, and then I get allergies, so I really can't be out there that long.
Oh,
It
yeah.
sucks. But I'm cool now. I think I kind of figured it out that if I start taking like certain pills or whatever within normal time, my allergies don't get as bad. So I'm cool. I can't complain. I got to spend
Good.
some time with my husband, so it's always good.
Oh, that's good. You need to.
I think we all need to spend time with ourselves, with the people we love and care for.
Absolutely.
All right, with that being said, let's start the podcast. And you guessed it. Let me ask you ladies something, especially for Miss Jess over here. So here's a question. When you ladies were in the military, did the PT test cause you guys stress?
Mm,
Feel like you were dehydrated completely? And then you feel like you made all the bad choices in the world right before the PT test?
yes.
Tell me why all of a sudden all of us just get on this stupid ass strict diet for one day before the freaking PT test. Actually, I
Yep.
want to start with a personal story. I remember when right before the PT test, like I've told you before, I made bad decisions because I didn't like the attention. I had this battle buddy that told me, "Hey, it's a good idea to take Epsom salt with some water, and it turns into a laxative to make weight." Girl, why did I listen to this lady?
No.
Yeah, so why did I listen to her? I was like, okay, I'm gonna be overweight a little bit, but I could pass my PT test. I'm a strong runner. I started like making all these scenarios in my head, and for the first time in my life, I actually decided to do something with her. And we took this thing, and let me tell you, if you've never had Epsom salt with water as a
Fuck no.
laxative, please do not do it. Please do not do it. Cause girl, I was in the bathroom. Oh Lord. Talk about being dehydrated for days. I swear that moment in my life humbled me faster than a PT test in a scale.
Oh my God.
I swear, like it was terrible, just. And I'm glad you guys find it funny because that's the whole point of this stories is like I reminisce and I just went back in time to that moment where I did do this. And it's like, when you're watching a movie and you could return back time, you wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
That was a humbling learning experience for me. Do you have any stories you would like to share, Joss? So we could all laugh at you too.
I can't remember when they actually implemented the tape test into all of our PT tests. It pissed me off so bad.
I'm gonna stop you right there for a second
Okay.
because what do you mean they never implemented? The army always had that shit.
The Air Force was smarter at one point, and then we got stupid and joined the Army.
Oh hell no! I take offense to that, ladies. No, okay, okay. We got jokes aside, okay. So you knew, so ladies, you know that, and I'm gonna speak for the Marines as well. You know who is the fittest of the fittest in the military.
The
Is that a
Marines?
confession, Jess?
The
We had to be
Marines?
fit. Oh no, the Marines and the Army, sweetheart, because obviously the Navy and the Air Force didn't have these issues with the tape until later on in life.
Anyway, like the whole PT test was fucked from the beginning, from when when I came in. Let's go back to laxatives. My spouse at the time, who is a complete moron, suggested that I do a laxative. What's
Oh yeah.
funny is they actually give these to people having a colonoscopy. I couldn't even do it because I took a sip of it and it was so sweet. I was like, oh no. But I had done diuretics, shit like
Yeah.
that. And then when I was actually really skinny before the PT test, I would go on like crash diets and they made me so angry because if I like I'd take out sugar. So I would eat hard boiled eggs, plain black beans, plain pinto beans, plain red beans. But I'm a salty sweet girl. Like if I have eggs, I need a fruit. Just give me a fucking piece of fruit. Anything. I had the worst headaches in the world. And I can't believe I did that shit when I was actually thin. Who does that? I did it.
No, no, I totally understand where you're coming from. So, if you haven't figured it out, ladies, today we're going to talk about how stressful it felt and how shitty the PT test and getting tape and making sure that
Mm.
we passed tape and our weight issues was such a big deal that it still affects us till today. So, for the military fitness, aka APPT, PRT, PFA, and the PFT, which I think I got all the branches. I really don't know what the Coast Guard does. Forgive me for that ahead of time. Although it was meant to keep us fit and strong, let's be honest. It wasn't for everybody. It wasn't because you were lazy or because as you got older, you didn't feel like doing it or anything like that. When it finally came in, it was just like you were ready to be judged. I don't know if you felt that
Yeah.
way too.
Yeah.
So why is the PT so important to the military? Like why would you think is so like important?
Oh, it was important because you had to be physically ready to deploy. We had to be physically strong, and that would help us be mentally strong. What's the real reason?
Well, first of all, you have to put your body to a challenge. And like let's say
Mhm.
if you were outside in the field or stuck somewhere, you had to find a way to survive. As well, it keeps you healthy, yet at the
Mhm.
same time it helps you like be effective, move quickly, be on top of things as in like you're faster and smarter. You're able to be in a situation where there's a lot of pressure and your body's able to resist it. Not to mention it also trains you to be effective and a fast responder when
Mm.
chaos hits, you got to be able to like, hey, I got this. I know what to do, and your brain is going to function because part of it is
Mhm.
like your brain says something, but your body does something else. So being
Yeah.
trained for dual PT and like being in such a stressful environment, you'll be able to like think, know what to do, but your body also reacts to it. But like I
Yeah.
said, I am not an expert in this. This is just my opinion. But we don't see it that way. Even if you were ready and conditioned your body to be ready for the PT test, it was hard at the time because you didn't know if you were going to have a bad day, if you were going to have a good day,
Right?
if that
Yeah.
extra sit up that you were going to do was going to make the cut. So as you age, your body changes too. So it made it just a little bit harder for me to perform. And then what about the fear of like performing while everybody's just staring at you?
Yeah.
Let's face it, the person that was holding your legs while you were doing a sit up, they were counting, but they were also judging you like, dang, girl.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you would get the ones that would be like, okay, yeah, yeah, one more, one more, one more. Or like before we would talk about, okay, what's your max? Like you want to hit your max or what's your minimum if that's all they were going to do. And then you get the shitheads that were like, okay, I'm going to fucking fart on you. And I'm not kidding.
Yes.
Whenever I had a dude that I had to hold their ankles or whatever and they farted, man, I'd be like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. That shit was so gross. Oh my God. Or they would put you unequal partners. I'm 5'10". My best friend is 5 feet tall, and she would hold my ankles, and I had no problem because she's very strong. But if I had a teeny tiny girl, 90 pounds soaking wet, holding my feet down, I'm like, when we got mismatched like that, that shit was crazy. And so I actually taught myself to do full sit-ups within the minute. I could do max sit-ups without having someone hold my feet or hold my ankles because I didn't want to rely on someone holding my feet or holding my ankles because sometimes they would hurt. You'd get a dickhead that or an asshole that would either
Yes.
grab your ankles too hard or have their bony ass knees breaking your feet
Oh
or
my God,
hurting your
that's the
toes.
worst. I think for me it was like I would get to the PT test and then I would no, I'm going to pass the run. I'm going to do the sit-ups, I'm going to do the push-ups. I know I can do it. People that don't know that sometimes is a curse to be a certain way because either you're too tall or you're too short and your body
Yeah.
is not to the exact measurements that the military expects you to have. So
Yeah.
my biggest fear was always like, oh shit, I have to be that 90-pound girl that is that short. And now I
Mhm.
weigh 120, even if I could be muscular or not. And that extra pounds is just going to fuck my whole PT test.
Mhm.
So that's where I would fucking get scared. And then I'm like, damn, and if I don't pass the run by fucking 10 seconds or like even a second, I fail. I have to do remedial
Mhm.
PT. And tell me why, Jess, because I know you were a senior NCO. Why do you guys like doing remedial PT tests in front of everybody in the barracks?
I don't fucking know.
No, because they felt to be like we were being targeted. Like either like they were mad.
You're being shamed. That's what
Yes,
it is. You're being
exactly.
shamed.
Not only that, but like you were actually calling me a fat ass. I didn't tell anybody I
Mhm.
was doing like remedial PT, but I wasn't doing it for anybody else. I was kind of like getting to know my husband at the time. So I told him I needed help with the PT test. So that was my remedial
Nice.
PT test. So I was getting to know him. But when I used to live in the barracks when I first joined the military, I would see that information, that was a big deal. Like you would have to get off of work, go to the barracks, change, put your PT all over again. And you would have the angriest of the angriest NCO because I am sure they were bad. They would rather do anything else but to spend that hour with you or two, breaking you down while everybody was trying to rest and they could hear you like struggling. And in part of it, I feel like it's our fault too because we kind of let ourselves go. Some of us get really comfortable in uniform and then we never
Yeah.
realize that we're overeating or we're not really taking care of ourselves. So the
Yep.
other issue,
Yeah.
not only are you getting bitched at, but you're going to get flagged for promotion. And if you're not fit, then you get in trouble. And then everybody's on your ass. When they do enforce it, they tell you, like, hey, if you can't pass your PT test like 3 or 4 times, you're going to get kicked out of the military. So
Yeah.
now you're scared your whole career is going to end, or maybe you're up for promotion from E5 to E6 and you want
Mhm.
that extra promotion because promotion technically means more money.
No money.
Yeah. And you know, we all about that money sometimes. So getting flagged is a big, big issue for us. And in a way, it can motivate some of us, but it could also demotivate you
Yeah.
and feel like you're fucking stuck in this chain that like, okay, I want to be fit, but I can't. After you have a baby in the military, it's probably harder for the women that get pregnant. You got to get back into shape before you have to have a PT test.
I don't know. For us, the regs changed. Actually, they changed a couple times, but I had to take a PT test when he was 4 months old, which that pissed me off. But then it changed. It was better for the moms. You have a baby, it changes everything.
They expect you to just get up and do it. So it was like you
Yeah.
were pregnant, but you had to still do PT. And I actually had this one girl that she got pregnant, and I swear to God, I think all the pregnant women hated her. She was a runner, and she ran through her whole pregnancy and to the
Oh,
like the
wow.
last minute before she gave birth, and she would be like, "Yeah, I'm still looking good" and stuff like that. Which, hey, kudos, proud for you. I am so
Yeah.
happy for you. But at the same time, I think it made like other women feel bad about themselves because not
Yeah.
everybody has the same pregnancy.
Yeah.
So that shit was fucking stressful. But like in general, I think just being a woman and you're like, okay, I'm about to get up in the line, do a run or do my push-ups, then my sit-ups. Then I got to run the 2 miles and pray that I pass, that I don't pass out. I was stationed in like a high elevation place. So when I
Mm.
would take the PT test, I felt like I was coughing up a lung
Oh, God.
every time because it was such a high elevation. That completely killed me. So not only did it make me stressed for weeks about taking that PT test, but just knowing that I was going to go running out there and just like cough out, it was like a disaster for me. Let's face it, no matter how strong you were, like let's say you were a bodybuilder and
Mhm.
you were like straight up muscle, it didn't matter if you passed the PT test or not. It was a freaking problem because your body didn't match to the standard that the
Yeah.
military has for you. And then you still had to get tape. And then on top of all that shit, God forbid if you didn't pass a PT test, you would have
Yeah.
your platoon sergeant, you had your first sergeant on your ass, your commander.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if it's still the same, but it was called like the commander's windshield. So it was all their stats. They were graded on people that didn't pass the PT test.
And then it fucking sucked because you never spoke to them, but you sure were end
Mhm.
up in their office. Like,
Yeah.
hey,
Oh, now they know you.
that Hey, why haven't you passed the PT test? What's going on? Or why are you like fucking a fat ass pretty much
Yeah.
in a very crazy way. I don't know, but back then they were a little rougher than they are now. And I could say that because
Yes.
my brother's in the army now. And I tell
Yeah.
him, man, back in the day, you would have not made it the way they spoke to us.
Yeah. Well, for the longest time, when you failed your PT test, it was called the Fat Kid program. Unofficially, the Fat Kid
Yeah.
program. I went to the Fat Kid program. I also led PT tests back at my other duty stations because I liked running and I liked helping people pass their PT test. And some people, you just got to find another way to help them and not be an asshole to them and be demeaning and picking at them, because I'll tell you that shit does not work. That does not motivate me. Like, go fuck yourself. In fact, it's gonna make me be like, I could walk this test. My God, speaking of walk tests, those are the most ridiculous tests in the fucking world. My man best friend, who also listens to this podcast, hey man, I'm not gonna say your name, but I did PT tests with him and he did the walk test. It was speed walking and it hurt my shins so much to
Yes.
walk with him that I would have to jog with him. And he's like 2 or 3 inches taller than I am. And I was like, I don't know how you fucking do this. Like, this is killing me to
Yeah.
walk like this. It was so dumb. I fucking hated it. Before we changed to like an actual run test, we had the bike test, which is probably the most idiotic test I've ever done in my life. I took the bike test 4 months postpartum and I killed it. I did really well because it measures your heart rate. I was a PT leader and I was doing testing, and there were people coming into the gym doing workout to elevate their heart rate because their resting heart rate was so low. They'd fail the bike test. It blew my mind. I was like, how do you deal with this? One guy in particular, he was like, it happens every time. I fail it every single time. And he said, you can see me and you can go look outside and watch me do my PT. I can run, I can do push ups and sit ups, do pull ups. I mean, he was fucking nuts. The standards were so ass backwards.
Yeah, honestly, I understand what you say. I'm gonna say this story. I have this cool husband. In the army, we call them PT studs. We score 100 on everything. I don't know if the Air Force does that or not, but he
Mhm.
was a PT stud. And man, this man used to smoke. And right
Oh,
before we would run, he would have a cigarette. He held it, smoke it, let it go, flick it, and man, he would run so freaking fast. He would look like a damn
damn.
gazelle. And then he would come back and like nothing hit him up, fire it back on and be like, I'm good.
Holy shit.
I think I seen him one time doing it and I was just like, holy shit, I can't. I was like, I'm coughing off a fucking lung because the elevation was so damn high. I'm like, I was like, how do you do it? And circling back to how I say that they kind of make us feel like judging our body and stuff. And I actually have a friend of mine that she got really sick from doing like crash diets. And
Mm,
one time we were in the field and stuff like that because they were like on her like all the time. Hey, you got to pass the tape. You got to pass the tape. You got to pass the tape.
yeah.
And she got to the point where she was just like not eating and not drinking
Mm,
water just to pass the
yeah.
PT test. And I remember one time we went to the field and we were in the range and we were shooting. This girl passed out and we
Oh,
were so far away from like the hospital, whatever, right?
oh
This girl
God.
was so dehydrated from everything that she was doing to her body. It was just so sad to realize that, damn, they push you sometimes so hard just to pass a damn PT test or to make the
Yeah.
weight that you go to that length to try to be how they want you to be. And then
Mm,
it definitely affects us women, probably a lot more than men. Then once you get out, you still have that issue. It becomes
yeah.
like a love-hate relationship with
Yeah.
food. It shouldn't be like that. So, like I said, the worst part is the mindset that follows you after the service. You look at the scale today, you get on it, and I'm like, damn, I gained 3 pounds. And then
Mm,
it makes me feel
yeah.
guilty about it instead of saying, you know what? Fuck it. I just haven't used the bathroom today.
Yeah.
I know this is gonna sound crazy for women because we women don't like to talk about that, but it's funny. And yes, we do still use the bathroom too. So I think it's super funny that we just feel so guilty and like we get so obsessed with what the skill says that we
Yep.
really don't realize that we're just hurting ourselves.
And they still do that. I don't know if you have ever paid attention that when you go to the VA, that they still weigh you and then they're like,
Yes.
huh, and they check your BMI. I'm like, make sure you have my right fucking height. And then look at our curves. Like, do you have big tatas? Because I have big fucking tatas, lady. Like, make sure you put that shit on my chart.
Oh,
Those
I feel
titties aren't
you.
going away.
Shit, they're not. And then that's when you freaking get on the damn scale at the VA, or even when you were in the military and you're like, you were having a great day until you step on that scale, and then your whole
Uh,
fucking day is just
yep.
out for shit.
Yep.
And you feel like, what the fuck? Damn, this takes me way back for real. Like it was just terrible for me. Like, I'm so short.
Hmm. It's funny. I know that men go through this too because when my little brother was he's 6'4". He was trying to max the tape, which you had to be like 32, and he was
Mm.
like 35 and a half. And I think he could only be 36 inches. But I was like, the only thing I can tell you is to go on a shit fest. Like, and that's not healthy. I can't change it.
Ladies, stay away from the Epsom salt and water.
No laxative. It's not going to do
No.
anything but really hurt your fucking belly so bad and cramp. Oh my God.
And
Don't do it.
it's not even a permanent fix. It's just a fix for a
Nope.
little bit, you know? And you start seeing food as in like their calories. I'm gonna gain the like weight. And then you start
Hmm.
feeling guilty because you're eating, but then you're not burning the
Hmm.
calories. And some of us get obsessed with like, oh my goodness, I need to lose the weight, I need to be skinny, I need to feel a certain way, or I need to look a certain way.
Hmm.
And that's just not cool either, you know. Like, we should be able to be ourselves. And if we could still run and be fit, we don't have to have a standard of like how we have to look.
Yeah.
So that for me was really hard, especially because I have very small wrists, and that's one of the things that they
Oh, me
tape
too.
you is their wrist. Yeah, and my wrist is like super super small. So my wrist and my hands and my neck don't match. I remember like in one of those
Huh.
days, my husband wasn't my boyfriend at the time. He took me to play racquetball right before the PT test. I didn't think anything of it because you're playing racquetball. Well, it did the trick because I was able to pass my tape because my wrist got a little swollen. It was bigger than the usual size, and I was able to pass it.
You could have hurt yourself and then you couldn't do push-ups.
Oh no, I was good. I think he was just trying to relax me before the PT test, and I was able to do it just because as you can see, I have a very tiny wrist and tiny hands too.
You're just so little.
Yes, I am, and I'm so happy to be the way I am.
Yep.
And then I think once you have that whole hate relationship with food and stuff, and you become like obsessed, like I do, I become very obsessed with workouts sometimes, even though now that I
Yeah.
have injuries and stuff like that, I can't do them. And then if I
Hmm.
can't do certain things, I feel like I'm a failure. If I psychoanalyze myself in a way, it's like, I think it's part of it because in the military, it was like, I was supposed to have a certain standard, look a certain way. And now that I'm
Hmm.
out of the military, and I feel like I gain a couple pounds or, whatever, it doesn't bother anybody else, but it bothers me.
Yeah.
So I feel like that shit doesn't walk away when you get out the service. You're like, oh shit, people are still going to judge me. And don't get me wrong, we do live in a judgmental freaking place where a woman has to have certain things. And I am not knocking on anybody that does Botox or do the fillers and shit. Girl, if that's what you like and that's the way you love to see yourself, go for it. If you want to have BBLs,
Hmm.
whatever, go for it. I am all for it. If this is what you want to do, do it for
Yes. Do it for
you,
you.
but
Yeah.
don't do it for anybody else. You do what you got to do. But me personally, this is not my thing because I get a paper cut, girl. I started hurting with the paper cut, so I cannot
Come
imagine just
on.
going through any of
Paper
that.
cut is like the worst though. Fuck the
Yeah.
paper. Oh no, the cardboard cut. That is the worst.
Oh my God.
Oof.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
So, yeah, sometimes I don't know if you feel the same way now that you're injured and then you're like doing the physical therapy to kind of keep on moving and stuff. And then
Hmm.
I know for me, when I had hand surgery, I felt like in my head, like, one more, you could do it. You
Yeah.
have to keep on going. Like that
Hmm.
little bitching voice in your head that says, like, you need to do this. You need to keep on going. Or if you heard the episodes before, me and Jess love our snacks. Or if you go
Yep.
to grab a snack, you're like double guessing yourself, like, hey, am I going to eat this shit or should I not eat it? It becomes part of you saying, like, am I going to enjoy eating this or am I going to regret it afterwards? Am I going to overthink I'm
Mm.
getting the weight back?
Yeah, we have an unhealthy relationship with food because of our experience back in the military. And that's fucked up. It's sad. because we should be able to go to the pantry, grab whatever favorite snack is, and eat it without thinking about the repercussions. Should be.
Yeah. Not only that, why can't we just enjoy an ice cream without fucking thinking
Yeah.
about the pounds? Like,
Yeah.
why we are really obsessing with that. And I know some people are going to be like, oh my God, maybe you're just a fat girl. I'm really not.
You are not.
But I still have that. And then part of that,
Yeah.
being fit and trying to take a PT test, and I think the anxiety comes. And then maybe you start feeling like you're a failure. You gain the extra
Hmm.
pounds. So now you feel the pressure of maybe being seen in public. That's an old friend is going to be like, damn, girl. And don't get me wrong. I know because everybody's guilty of that. When somebody posts a picture on Facebook, on Instagram, you want to make it big.
Yeah, we compare ourselves every single time. I'll compare their backgrounds. I'm like, oh man, I'm jealous. I love that. Let me do a better comparison. I've been thinking about Megan Trainor a lot. I follow her because she is real. She will talk about the boogers, like no makeup, all that. But I was reading comments last night, one of her posts, and she gets body shamed even though she's thin because she used to be a curvy girl and now she's not. And I'm like, man, she can't fucking win. No matter what we do, we're going to get judged and shamed. So when exactly is that going to end?
Yeah,
Like,
and it's a hate relationship because, like I said, you're fucking get anxious.
mm,
It affects the way that you carry yourself as a person or as a
yeah.
woman. Then, if you are disciplined and you start taking care of yourself and you end up losing the weight naturally,
Mhm,
all of a sudden people want to have questions like, "Hey, did you do this?" Drugged, what did you do? Like, no, I really worked hard on myself because
mhm,
like I said, I'm not knocking anybody. Like, you do you, boo boo, and I'm proud of you for anything
mhm,
because we all have different stories and different
mhm,
ways. I've always had weight issues, but lately
mhm.
I've been proud of myself. But I didn't do it because I wanted to lose weight or I wanted to be a Barbie doll or anything. Girl, I just didn't want to have a heart attack. I wanted my blood results to be fine. I wanted to take the healthier route. Has it taken me longer than expected? Yes, I've been on this health journey for the past 3 years,
Mhm.
but I've been trying to like do it myself. Do I fall sometimes? Oh yeah, all the time. Like, come on, girl. I love chips. But I feel like I started to have a better relationship with food and with myself than when I was in the
Mm,
military. When I was in the military, it was really hard for me to eat something and actually enjoy it. And not to
yeah.
mention, like living in the barracks, you don't have a kitchen. You really can't cook. You go to the DFAC, and the DFAC doesn't have the best food ever. Sometimes they do, but it's not the healthiest.
Yeah.
And then you start going to McDonald's, you start going to Chili's, you go to Applebee's, then you get in the factor of drinking alcohol and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden,
Hmm.
boom, it's hard just to keep the freaking weight off.
Yeah.
Now
Yep.
that we said all that stuff, the PT test, stressful, fucking crazy, people yelling at you, trying to pass it, you failed, no promotions, all this shit. Then this is where it gets real because now we're going to bring it into the tape test that you were talking about. Tell me if that's not the most judgmental test in the world is to fucking pass your PT test. Do your push ups, do your run, do everything. And all of a sudden, you have to get taped because I'm not 90 pounds.
That's ridiculous. One portion of our PT test was getting taped. No matter your size, your weight, how good you look, it was part of it. And there were assigned points. I can't remember, maybe 20. I forget how much it was. Whatever it was stupid. My only saving grace, because I'm so tall, my hips are so high. The top of my iliac crest is really high. I'm very lucky. Other women are not so lucky. Their hips are in a different location. And I'm like, goddamn, like they're right above the top of your butt. That fucking sucks. And that's the same as males. They don't have the hips that we have. I hated tape tests. I would always have to be like, no, 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 the top of my iliac crest is here. I will show you. I will bend to pop it out because you can see it. And I would have to show them. It was always a pain in the dick. But anyway.
So for the tape test, yeah, I actually have a story. I have a first sergeant that used to like to do the tape test for the women, and that shit would make me so
Oh,
uncomfortable. Like he
no.
would make me so uncomfortable. He would like put the tape around our hips and shit, and that would make me feel like, ew, like, why are you doing that? And like, I did complain about it. I was like, I don't feel good, but he was the first sergeant, so there was nothing that we could do about it. Later
Ugh.
on in my career, I found out he did get in trouble for it. So I'm glad that things did change. And for the
Mhm.
people that don't know, you have to get your neck, your waist, and your wrist
For the
taped.
army. For
Yeah,
the
for the
army.
army, yes. And then they
Mm.
do your weight and then do your height and they do some math and boom, they automatically say
Yeah.
you're fat.
Even if you weren't. It wasn't based on any muscle composition at all. It was stupid. It was not scientific.
And it wasn't. And then you throw it off that we're women, we have hormones and stuff like that. So it makes it really difficult for us to even try to control our bodies as we start getting older.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't understand why we're gaining all this weight, but it sometimes it's a hormonal. Like they don't tell you in the military, like, hey, go get check your blood. Maybe you have a thyroid issue. Maybe you have something else, you know?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you're just freaking out because now you see the numbers in the scale go up and instead of
Mhm.
going down. And for some reason, we women are terrible because if the scale doesn't have the number that we want, we don't even take accountability that sometimes we lose inches, but we gain muscle.
Yeah.
And that
Mhm.
frustrates us even more. So it's
Mhm.
okay. Let's normalize that muscle is good. As we get older, we lose a lot of
Yeah.
muscle and we should stop doing crash diets and stuff like that. Okay, so I want to talk about the things that they don't tell you when you start doing crash diets and stuff like that. It's really hard for us women because a lot of women don't know that we end up with having period problems. You,
Yeah.
you tend to lose your cycle. They're like
Yeah.
either heavier or they're not. And that's something that we don't know how to control that. Then you start
Mhm.
losing bone density and then you start getting stress fractures, which that's not cool too because they don't talk about us.
Yeah.
We're more about losing the weight and not really taking care of ourselves.
Yep.
Then you start having low energy because we're doing all these crash diets and we start
Mhm.
performing not too good, especially while you're in the military. Like I said, I regret taking the laxative of Epsom salt because that was the worst performance I ever did in a PT test because I was
Mm.
dehydrated.
Yeah.
So then now after you have the poor performance because you have low energy, then that's when the mental health strains starts
Mm.
happening. You get start feeling anxious, you start feeling depressed about how you feel, and that shit's not cool either because nobody
Yeah.
should make you feel that way.
Mm-mm.
And then
Mm-mm.
some of us, I mean, that was not my issue. I had an injury, but some of us end up having infertility issues or early
Yep.
menopause because we
Yeah.
didn't eat right, because we didn't take care of our body right, because it was more of a number in the scale. And then as we get older, we have this hate relationship with food and we're not eating right. We're not getting the energy to our body that we need.
Mhm.
And that becomes a big ass issue for us.
Yep.
And we have to normalize, like, if you are eating clean all week, you could have ice cream, some chocolate at the end of the week. It's not going to kill you. You know,
Right.
don't feel guilty about it. Enjoy it because honestly, life sometimes is short and then you're giving your body mixed signals. And then next time you eat it, you're going to be like, oh no, it's going to make your tummy hurt or whatever because you're already giving it a negative energy. Your brain takes it. And then instead of like enjoying the chocolate you're eating, you're going to have
Mhm.
issues with it and it's going to hurt you even more mentally and sometimes even physically because believe me, the brain is magical to make you see and feel things that are not there.
Mhm.
So the truth about the PT test, was it really supposed to build strength and not panic us? What do you think?
I'm still on the fence on that.
Yeah, because there's a difference when you start running because you're scared or you're running because you want to run and are still
Yeah.
strong and capable to do it. But we
Yeah.
never saw it like, shit, we gotta run because sometimes shit's gonna get real and we're gonna get deployed and shit, we might have to fucking run. We might have to fucking survive somehow.
I never had to run during deployment. I mean, I did also ran to the bunker, but I didn't have to run long distances because we're not in that, face to face combat. It's a completely different thing. But I understand the need for physical and mental endurance. But I do think that at point, at least in my career, PT was used as a punishment. And there was a lot of body shaming and just shaming of people that didn't pass the PT test, myself included, which I don't know if I honestly can't remember if I ever failed a PT test. I don't feel like I did. If you did a mock test, if you didn't get like an 80 or whatever the score, then you had to go to remedial PT. That doesn't make you feel good about yourself.
No, and not at all.
There's a
And
lot of shame.
it is. So this is where I kind of wrap everything up is like I feel like it stays with us after we get out.
Yeah.
We don't actually develop good habits to keep the weight off, to eat healthy, to do that because we're already in a hate
Yeah.
love relationship with food, with our body, how we look, how we're going to get judged, you know?
Yeah.
And it shouldn't matter. Like at the end of the day, we're out the military. Nobody's coming to
Hmm.
freaking tape us. It's in our mind. Even if your jeans don't fit the right weight, that's fine, you know, because jean sizes lie all the time. So do you have any advice, just
Yeah, my advice, just take it one day at a time, one meal at a time. Don't deny yourself something. That was probably my biggest downfall whenever I would starve myself from whatever I really wanted. I would like go hard on it once I was able to get it. If I didn't eat sugar, then when I actually got to eat it, I would go overload. So don't deny yourself. Don't feel guilty. If you're in the military, there are other ways.
Yeah.
If you're not in the military, fuck it. You don't have to worry about it anymore. I
Uh,
still don't like to get weighed. You can just ignore that shit right
yeah,
away. And
I
always remember your boobs weigh something. So take
oh
that
my
into
god, that
account.
is that is awesome. That's gold right there. But yeah, it is true. It is true. It is true. If I could cut half of my boobs, I would. Because nobody tells you that as you get older, they really do hurt your back. The bigger they are.
Yeah.
All right, enough feelings for the day. I know this is a big issue for us women,
Whew.
the whole weight thing. Let's try to light it up a little bit and do a fun segment called tape test or torture device.
Awesome. This one is personal. Item one, wrapping yourself in layers and going for a run the day before weigh-in.
Oh, that's a torture device. I have done that and you completely get
Hmm.
dehydrated. Very bad decision. I do not recommend that.
Agreed. Item two, this is me. Eating one boiled egg and acting like you're thriving.
Torture device with emotional damage.
There is not one single ounce of joy in that egg. I promise you.
Maybe if it's a chocolate egg.
Oh, I never thought of that. Nice. Item three, looking at a card and feeling guilty.
That's a torture device. Do not tell Hispanic women that they cannot eat bread. I love bread.
Oh my God. I'm not saying justice for the carbs. I can live on fucking bread. We could do a whole episode on bread. Like, serious. Did I already say this to you?
No.
I'd be perfect as a convict because I love bread so much that bread and water, like, okay, whatever. I'll be fine.
Yes.
Okay. Item four, sucking in so hard during tape you almost meet your ancestors.
Oh my god, that's a military tradition. Also near death experience because you try to suck it in and they're like, nope.
Ma'am, breathe.
Yes.
Yes. Been there, done that. Item five, suddenly becoming a fitness expert 2 weeks before the test.
That's not discipline. That's just panic with a workout plan. I've done that.
Yes, fear cardio strikes again.
Oh yeah.
Item six, stepping on the scale like it's a courtroom verdict.
Oh my god, torture device. Why my whole mood is based on these numbers?
I hate that. It's like it's deciding your personality for the day.
Oh my god,
Blech.
yes.
Item seven, saying, I just need to pass while your body is begging for food, water, and peace.
That's military poetry right there. And cry for help at the same time.
Yes, preach. Item eight, working out for joy with no fear attached.
Now that is healing.
Hell yeah, we love that version of us.
Yes. So, no, ladies, for real, all jokes aside, we laugh about it, but actually stays with us. That pressure, that fear, the way we learn to look at our bodies doesn't disappear overnight. But here's the truth, your body is not paperwork anymore. It's not something to be
Mm,
judged, measured, or correct at all times. You're allowed to change, you're allowed to grow, allowed to build new habits that actually feel healthy and not stressful. Movement doesn't have to be a punishment.
mm.
Food doesn't have to come with guilt. You get to take care of your body now and not control it. So make sure you eat that pint of ice cream if that's what you want.
And if you're still struggling with that, you're not alone. A lot of us are still unlearning those bad habits, still trying to figure out what healthy even looks like without all that pressure. And it's okay if it takes time. Your body has carried you through a lot. It deserves patience, not punishment.
Exactly. So if nobody has told you lately you're doing better than you think and your worth has nothing to do with the number on a scale or a tape measure.
At all.
Amen, girl. We're not in the military anymore. Nobody's coming with a clipboard like, hey, girl, how many push ups you can do?
I don't know. If they are, you know where I'll be, and you know where Diana will be. Leg
Not,
crawling.
yes, because we're not going to answer the door. That's a fact right there. Go drink some water, eat something real, and take care of yourself. Like you actually matter because you know what? To us, you do.
Hell yeah. And maybe don't fight your genes today.
Yeah, because sometimes it's not you.
It's the genes.
Oh, yeah.
This was unfiltered and unarmored.
Real talk from two women veterans, one life after service, healing identity.
and the chaos in between.
Make sure you follow us on all platforms on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok.
And feel free to send us a DM or an email at unfilteredunarmored@gmail.com.
And please let us know how we're doing, what you're going through, what you're thinking, what you want us to talk about next.
We're building this with y'all, not just for y'all.
So don't be shy, talk to us.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.